He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We are back. It's the Alex Jones Show. I am Jason Burmis sitting in for the final hour. Coming up, I really want to discuss the new developments in Afghanistan and Camp Gecko that interconnect with Hamid Karzai's warlord, CIA-funded, openly for the last 8 years, brother and opium dealer, because there's a lot more going on there. It really explains the system of plausible deniability. It explains how they use pseudonyms, Colonel John, Colonel Johnny. It also explains how they use Lockheed Martin of the military-industrial complex. So we're going to be getting to that. And another huge, huge story we need to talk about. I talked about this on my show over the weekend. Google, over the past several years, they're not telling us how many years, it means more than a few. Okay, so more than 3 years with Google Street Views where they said, hey, we're just going to be taking pictures and mapping out society, and it's going to be great for everybody. Now, if you look at this Times Online headline, Eric Schmidt says Google should not be prosecuted for Wi-Fi records. It actually shows you a car with a device mounted on the top. Now, that's not used to take pictures. See, photographs are taken from cameras. Now, they said over the last several years, accidentally, they were taking all the wireless information. And if you're part of the dumbed-down masses and you read the local headlines that were basically in the back of the paper and not made out to be a big deal, you might believe that if you didn't read 3-4 paragraphs in, when you realize, hey, wait a minute, taking pictures has nothing to do with data mining all of the information surrounding them wirelessly. And now Schmidt is pleading with the international and American community not to prosecute him. The chief executive of Google admitted to major privacy mistakes please, today as regulators prepare to launch probes into the company for recording personal communications sent over unsecured wireless networks in people's homes. Now, Eric Schmidt is featured ever so shortly in Invisible Empire, and we're going to play that clip briefly coming up, not right now. But he clearly discusses how he wants to talk about what's going on in the world, where we're going, the new world order, as they call it, referring to the elitists he works with. He is a very intricate part of the military-industrial complex at this point. Eric Schmidt said that the company had not authorized the activity of its streetcar views, give me a break, didn't authorize it, which have been collecting snippets of people's online activities broadcast over unprotected home and business Wi-Fi networks, which, depending on the year, were about 70 to 80% of the wireless networks out there. And this is what he said: no harm, no foul. Hey, Eric, it's not a basketball game, brother. It's real life. Speaking at Google's Zeitgeist conference at the Grove Hilton in Hertfordshire, Mr. Schmidt said that the greater damage had been done to the company's reputation rather than to the individuals themselves. And then he said, oh, it was just a relatively small amount of data that was collected, and it was not authorized. We stopped driving immediately. Total lie. This just came out this week. Most of the country has been mapped with Google Street Views. They didn't stop anything. There appears to be no use of data. It's sitting on a hard drive. And then he goes on to say, we will not delete the collected data until ordered to do so. And again, because it's a military-industrial complex company, they work with the NSA. They're part of a NASA program out there, folks. The UK Information Commissioner's Office has said that the Data Protection Act appeared to have been breached, but that after receiving assurances from Google that it would delete the data as soon as reasonably possible. So again, they were aware that they were collecting data. The UK Information Commissioner's Office knew that this wasn't just about Street Views. It was about maintaining all of this wireless data, whether that be your emails, your bank accounts, your passwords, the websites you visited, all tracked, traced, and databased on another level with a private company called Google. That's the reality. And the UK Information Commissioner's Office was aware of it, but they were assured, oh, they're going to delete the data as soon as they collect it. They talk to you like you're 5-year-old children. The company admitted last week that the car's radio antenna obtained emails and other bits of information when the vehicles passed through towns and cities. Google said the data was mistakenly collected and only in short bursts as the vehicles passed by and was never used. We're continually struggling with the question, said Schmidt. We have to decide what is and what isn't appropriate in the privacy sphere. Each government and company will decide differently. I don't agree. They're not deciding differently. They're beta testing separate programs across the world. In my film Invisible Empire, I chronicle how the UK for the last year plus has been putting CCTV cameras in sin bin family homes. In other words, their CPS decides what families are bad, and now they're surveilled in their homes with CCTV cameras. This is just another step. We also expose an Invisible Empire. AT&T and all the other large telecommunication companies out there, which Google is becoming a part of, folks, with their Android phone, with their Chrome software. Chrome is another internet browser. It revealed that, they are also taking all of the information and dumping it into a secret room on a private server. Everything you've done on the internet for the past 10 years. Get with reality. All right, I want to play this clip briefly. We not have it yet? All right, so we'll play it in the next segment of Eric Schmidt talking about the New World Order. But this is so important to understand. These people need to be prosecuted and then punished to the fullest extent of the law, and journalists need to do their jobs and attend to this situation as front page news. 90% of you out there have Google as your homepage. We use it on a daily basis. The word is now synonymous with the web. It is ingrained in not only pop culture, but culture in general.